Gundicha Mandira Marjana Seva Magi Liya. Means he begged for this service from these three great personalities. Kashi Mishra, who was the advisor of the king Prataputra, and the head Pujari of Jagannath, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. These three were very dear to Jagannath. So he begged from them, can I do this service? Gundicha Mandira Marjana. The Gundicha temple, Lord Jagannath goes to the Gundicha temple and stays there for 1 week, time of the Rath Yatra, and returns back in the Bahuda Rath Yatra. So, Gundicha temple is mentioned in many Puranas, the name of Gundicha, and the area of Gundicha temple is around 288 by 215 cubits, and the main temple inside is 36 by 30 cubits, and the meeting hall is 32 cubits by 30 cubits, and there are 3 partitions of Gundicha temple, just like the Jagannath temple, the Natya Mandap, the Bhoga Mandap, and the main altar of Lord Jagannath, and 3 partitions of the main temple. So the Lord wanted a desire to clean all of them. Text 74. Padicha kahe aami sevaka matra che tumhara ichha se kartavya amara. So the head Pujari said, my dear Lord, why are you asking this service from us? We are only your servants. You are asking your servants to do some service. This is not the right thing. You just order us, because we are your servants, Kartavya, this is our prime duty to serve you. Unfortunately, the people of this world have forgotten what is their main Kartavya. That is why there is so much suffering in this world. The main Kartavya of every soul, every person, first is to fulfill the desire of the Lord. Ichha. Kartavya, this is the first Kartavya. Je tumhara ichha, se kartavya amara. First, to know the Kartavya of the Lord, one requires a Guru. And to know the Ichha of the Lord, the desire of the Lord, one needs to approach the Vaishnava, the Shiksha Gurus, the Diksha Gurus, and to know the desire of the Lord, and then to implement that Ichha is the main duty, of every servant. Every soul is a part and parcel of the Lord. Now what we are doing presently is we are just implementing our own Ichhas. We are trying to, whatever desires we have, trying to fulfill them whimsically. And we are not trying to even understand or try to know what is the desire of Lord. The Lord wants to clean Gundicha, and immediately all the servants want to implement them. Right. Text 75. Visheshe Rajaro Agyahana che amar Prabhura Agya Jishe Shigra Kare Bahare. The head Pujari said, the King Prataputra has given me a strict order, a direct order that if Lord Gauranga orders anything, instantly do it. Don't hesitate. There's no need to even ask me for that. Because the king knew that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, has come in his kingdom of Orissa as Lord Gauranga. And he knew that actually it is not his kingdom. It's a kingdom of the Lord. Ultimately the Lord is a proprietor. So who is he to stop the order of the Lord? So he said, no, you please do it. So nowadays politicians, they forget what is the order of the Lord. And who is the Lord? Nobody knows. So how they can actually implement the order of the Lord. If all the politicians of this world would keep God in the center, the desire of the Lord, and the world will become a Vaikuntha. Text 76. Tumhara yogya seva nahi mandira marjana Ek Leela kar je tomara man. So at that time the head Pujari of Jagannath was also Gaura Tattvavit. He also was knowing fully the Gauranga Tattva. And he said, my dear Gauranga, what you are saying is actually not befitting. The service of sweeping the floor of Gundicha, the temple cleaning, this is not a service. You have thousands and millions of servants in Goloka. You don't even need to touch the ground. And this is not a service meant for you, my dear Lord. Not at all. But, my dear Lord, who can stop you? This must be some special Leela which you want to perform for the benefit of the whole world, for showing to the whole world that no service in Bhakti Yoga is menial, small or high. Every service is divine, transcendental, is equally pleasing to the Lord. Cleaning the temple or giving the lecture, there is no difference. It's all the same. And devotees, actually the Lord wanted to caution the devotees, His followers, that don't discriminate between one service and another service, and don't discriminate between devotees who are doing one service and another service, because every service is pleasing me because it is based on the consciousness of the devotee who is doing it. When Ram wanted to cross the ocean, Hanuman was putting the monkeys were putting big rocks, and one ant was just putting a little sand into the ocean with the back legs, and some birds were also putting some. But Ram was equally pleased with all of them. Though by the ant and the birds' service, the ocean was not going to get full. The bridge would never happen, but still the consciousness then was to help Ram, not Ram. So that consciousness, Ram was very pleased. So ultimately the Lord is saying that don't ever think. So He personally cleaned, not only engaged His devotees. Text 77. किंतु घट समार्जनी बहुत चाही, आज्ञा देह आजी सब यहाँ आने दिए. Says, my dear Lord, if you want to clean Gundicha, you can take one deep breath and all the kachara, all the dust in Gundicha will vanish. If you want to clean, you can do a miracle. You floated stones on the water and you made put a mango tree from a mango seed, and you put pens in the ground and trees came up in Vidyanagar. So you have done so many miracles. So you can just take a breath and all the dust will go away. But I know that you want to clean. You are playing a pastime just like a human being. So you will need brooms and you will need pots. So my dear Lord, please order and we will bring everything here. Immediately, water pots and brooms. Text 78. Nutana ekashata ghata. Nutana ekashata ghata shata samarjam. Padicha aniya dila prabhuraicha jani. Knowing the desire of Lord Gauranga that he wanted to perform this Leela and nobody can stop him now, even though it was not befitting him, the head Pujari immediately brought 100 new water pots and 100 brooms, and he brought it before the Lord. Text 79. Aradine prabhate lanani jagan Shri haste sabaranga lepila chandan. So just like in the modern marketing companies, how the bosses give incentives to their workers, Lord Gauranga is the supreme incentive giver to all his devotees. One should understand that one will never lose by serving Gauranga. In fact, before even starting the service, Lord Gauranga will give us. Here, Lord Gauranga is himself decorating the bodies of all his devotees with sandalwood, lepila chandan. He is Sri Haste, with his own lotus hands. He is touching the bodies of his devotees and decorating them with chandana, with sandalwood, and preparing them, inspiring them, encouraging them to sweep the temple of Gundicha to make it a cool and pure place for Lord Jagannath. What higher incentive is there than the touch of the Lord? Billions of dollars will be no use in front of the divine touch of the Lord. So we all should try to become most intimate associates of Gauranga. We should pray to Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu that please, this should be my last life. And please let me have my next life as your associate. Then I can get your holy touch and your Maha Sandalwood. Text 80. Shri Haste Vilas Vare Eka Ek Marjani Savaganala Na Prabhu Chalila Apani. And then with his own hands he gave sandalwood, and then afterwards with his own hands he is giving one broom to every devotee. What a unique pastime this is. Lord Gauranga. In the Dwapar Yuga, he gave every devotee some weapons, all the monkeys to fight against Ravana. And in the Treta Yuga and in the Dwapar Yuga, as Krishna, he used to give to his devotees many other things. Many ways when he went to Mathura, he would also give similar benedictions, Lord Krishna. So he would also become very pleased. But though Lord Gauranga is Krishna himself, we see a very striking difference here in both their pastimes. You know what is the difference? The difference is that Krishna demands first and then he gives mercy. Like he demanded the washerman of Kansa, give me the clothes, new clothes. And the washerman did not give, and Krishna just slapped him and his head flew away. Then he went to the florist and asked them for flowers. And the florist gave the flowers and Krishna was very pleased. But here Gauranga is so merciful that he is giving first, then asking later. He is not giving any chance for the souls to refuse. If we get first some benediction, then we will surely give. But if you are asked first, chances are less. So he's giving chandana, he's giving sandalwood first and then asking back that you please take this broom now and render the service. And then he took them personally to Gundicha. He was the leader. A real leader shows by his example. Text 81. Gundicha mandire ke la karite marjan prathame marjani la na karite shodhan. In that way the Lord went to Gundicha mandira to clean and he instructed everyone, first all of you please cleanse with your brooms, because unless one wipes away all the big dirt and the dust, one cannot see the fine particles of dust. Text 82. मंदिर उपसकरे माझीला सिंहासन माझी पूर्ण स्थापन करील. So even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to tell us that you have to get up in the morning, first take the big broom and cleanse the mind with the broom 100 times. He was saying 100 times because here there are 100 brooms. In Gundicha Mandir there are 100 brooms. So first one has to cleanse first one has to get up in the morning and chant the holy names and beat the mind, subdue the mind. Because if we become a slave of the mind during the day, then the whole day is gone and we come one day closer to death. So it's better to subdue the mind in the morning itself, so that the mind, when a tiger is subdued, then the tiger is very like a lamb. So the morning time is very important. So that is why Gauranga, he went inside and Mandira Upar, he cleansed everything, including the ceiling. Then he took up the Sinhasana. For Sinhasana he used a new broom, separate broom, and he cleaned the Sinhasana of the Lord. And first he removed it, the Sinhasana, then he cleaned around, and then he again re-established the Sinhasana. Presently the Sinhasana is fixed, but I think at that time, 500 years ago, it may be not fixed. Text 83. छोटा बड़ा मंदिर कैला मार्जन शोधा पाछे ताचे शोधिल श्री जगमोहन. So like that, and the Lord and his companions cleaned and swept the Chota Bada, all rooms in Gundicha, big and small, and everything was cleansed. Jagamohan is the hall, Natya Mandir, between the altar and the temple. That was also cleaned by the Lord. Charidike shato bhakta sammarjani kare apani shodena prabhu shikhana sabhare. That what a beautiful pastime this is. If one could have taken an aerial view of Gundicha at that time, one would see all the devotees brooming, full Gundicha temple full with Gauranga's devotees. They are brooming the floor. What a beautiful sight that would have been. If I would have been there, I would have been rolling in that dust and begging to one of his associates, please clean my heart also with your broom. Sight. But the Lord did not stop brooming. Even though there are hundreds and thousands of devotees, the Lord himself was brooming, because he is the master of all teachers, teaching by his example. Apanish prashik Achare Prabhu Jivera Shikhai. He has come, this incarnation, this form of Gauranga is simply to teach by his own example. This is the highest and the most rare kind of teaching. That is why during Gauranga's presence it was not to be revealed very openly that Gauranga is God, because he was teaching by his example. He did not want to be God. But after Gauranga has completed his pastimes, now we should proclaim to the whole world that he is God, because now he is teaching through his pastimes, through his holy names. Now there is no problem if everyone accepts him as God, because if during his pastimes, if the whole world would accept him as God, then he would not be able to teach as a teacher. It would hamper about his pastimes. He would not be able to relish his three internal desires in Gambhira. The whole Gambhira would be full daily. People from all over the world would have come there. So that is why he wanted to remain incognito till he is present. Premolasa shodhinalaina Krishna naam Bhaktagana Krishna kahe kare nij kaam. It's a very, very important siddhanta that whatever service we render, we should be accompanied by chanting naam. Otherwise, any offenses or loopholes that service will remain imperfect. Mantradas tantradas chidram desh kalhar vastuta sarvam karoti nischidram manusankirtanam tava. In the Bhagavatam it is said, all the loopholes and all the imperfections in mantra, in tantra, in all kinds of activities are all closed by sankirtan. So any service we do, our tongue should not stop to chant Nityananda Gauranga and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then our activity will become yajna, because chanting is there, become sacrifice. So the devotees were constantly chanting the Naam and Bhaktagana Krishna kahe kare nija kaam. They were doing the work which was ordered by the Lord to broom the temple, but they did not forget Krishna Naam. They did not forget the holy name. So we should learn that art, even when we are busy in office or doing attending a phone call or cooking in the kitchen or walking on the street. We should always be chanting the holy names. We should make it a habit. And they were chanting not ordinary, they premollas with love, because anyone who is following the direct order of the Lord will automatically get love. धूली धूसर तनु देखिते शोभन कहाँ कहाँ अश्रु जले करे समार्जन. Oh, wonderful! See, in Krishna Leela, Krishna became dhulira dhushita in the Godhuli time in the evening when he used to come with the cows, and the dust particles of Raja would fall on his face and he would shine and he would look so beautiful, his lotus face. But and here Gauranga is playing the same pastime in a different way. He is grooming the Gundicha temple and the dust particles are falling on his lotus face. So the Godhuli Leela and the Gundicha Marjana Leela have a lot of similarity. And he is looking very beautiful. Kaha kaha ashru jale. And in some places the Lord in intense remembrance of Jagannath, because he was 14 days he had not seen Jagannath. And this is the last day before the Annavasar, so the Lord would be intensely anxious. He would cry while serving the Lord. Oh, he would say, oh, I will see Jagannath tomorrow. And he would clean some places with his tears. Yoga mandire shodhan kari shodila prangam sakala avasa krame karila shodhan. So after cleaning all the compartments of the temple, even the courtyard was cleaned by the Lord, and the courtyard is so big in the Gundicha temple. It's huge. And the Lord, along with all his devotees, he cleaned the courtyard of Gundicha temple. That is why presently we see the lotus footprints of Lord Gauranga in the courtyard. There is a small temple there. Anybody who goes to Gundicha can see the holy prints of Lord Gauranga with all the marks, Durtvarekha and Chakra and Swastika. Still there because the Lord cleansed the courtyard himself. Text 87. Bhoga mandir shodhan kori Shodila pranga Sakala avasa krame Shodila shodhan Trina dhuli jhinkura sab ekatra kariya Bahirvasela na felai bahire kariya. What a beautiful pastime this is. Lord Gauranga would collect all the trina, means the straws, and the dhuli, means the dust, and jinkura, means the grains of sand. He would collect them and put them in his cloth, his own cloth, Bahirvas. And then he would come outside of Gundicha temple and throw them there. Hey mata bhakta gana kari nija vase Trinaduli bahire felai paramaharishe. So the devotees also, they followed his example, and they also collected all the dust and the dirt, the grains and the straws in their cloth, and they were throwing it outside. And in some places the Lord, in intense remembrance of Jagannath, because he was 14 days he had not seen Jagannath, and this is the last day before the Annavasar, so the Lord would be intensely anxious. He would cry while serving the Lord. Oh, he wouldn't say, oh, I will see Jagannath tomorrow. And he would clean some places with his tears. Bhoga mandire shodhan kari shodila prangam Sakala avasa krame karila shodhan. So after cleaning all the compartments of the temple, even the courtyard was cleaned by the Lord, and the courtyard is so big in the Gundicha temple. It's huge. And the Lord, along with all his devotees, he cleaned the courtyard of Gundicha temple. That is why presently we see the lotus footprints of Lord Gauranga in the courtyard. There is a small temple there. Anybody who goes to Gundicha can see the holy prints of Lord Gauranga with all the marks, Durdvarekha and Chakra and Swastika. Still there because the Lord cleansed the courtyard himself. Text 87. Bhoga mandir shodhan kori Shodila pranga Sakala avasa krame Shodila shodhan Trina dhuli jhinkura sab ekatra kariya Bahirvasela na felai bahire kariya. What a beautiful pastime this is. Lord Gauranga would collect all the trina, means the straws, and the dhuli, means the dust, and jinkura, means the grains of sand. He would collect them and put them in his cloth, his own cloth, Bahirvas. And then he would come outside of Gundicha temple and throw them there. Hey mata bhakta gana kari nija vase Trinaduli bahire felai paramaharishe. So the devotees also, they followed his example, and they also collected all the dust and the dirt, the grains and the straws in their cloth, and they were throwing it outside. Prabhu kahe ke ho kato karicha samarjan Trinaduli dekhile hi janiba pari ishra. Just like everything is judged by the results and the tree is judged by the fruits, similarly Lord Gauranga said that I will judge the amount of sincerity you are putting it in cleaning the temple by the volume of the dust and the dirt and the grains which you are accumulating outside. So I will see that, and then I'll understand how hard, how each of you is working. सबार ध्यान तान बोझा एकत्र करिला सबे होइते प्रभुर बोझा अधिक हईला. And everyone collected their mounds of dust separately. And then ultimately the mounds of dust collected separately by all the devotees, hundreds of devotees, was merged into one mound. But a very, very surprising thing happened, and that is that the mound of the dust grains and the straws which were collected by the Supreme Lord Gauranga himself, it was single-handedly, it was much more than the mound, the cumulative mound of all the devotees. One may ask how this is possible. The answer is very simple. Gauranga is the Supreme Personality, Godhead. Ei mata abhyantara karila marjana puna sabha kare dila kariya vantan. In that way again everyone came inside and started cleaning the temple. And this time Lord Gauranga allocated specific areas in the temple for specific devotees for cleaning. Shukshma dhuli trena kakar sabkar dur bhalamate shodhana kar prabhurantapur. Chalega, अच्छा है अभी now. Hari Bol. Now second time they collected the sukshma. Sukshma means very subtle, very small, tiny particles of grains and straws and stones, pebbles. They started collecting, and this time that has to be collected with the hands, picking up personally with the hand. The broom may not be useful in this. So this shows that the Lord is telling us that not only we have to control our gross desires, but the desire for subtle bhakti utta aparadhas, anarthas should also be eliminated, and that those are a desire for name and fame. Subtle anarthas, they should also be cleansed from our heart. The desire to think that I am a great devotee, even though I have some little knowledge about Bhakti, I think, oh, I am still a great devotee. So I am able to impress others. I am able to. That is a big anartha, subtle anarthas in devotion. Tarangarangini. So all these subtle things also should be removed in devotion and bhakti. So one has to be very careful while chanting the holy names to carefully pick out the weeds and the small subtle pebbles in our heart of wrong desires, so that the real creeper of bhakti can grow. So Lord Gauranga is showing us Sabha Vaishnava जबी दुई बार सुधीला देखी महाप्रभुर मने संतोष होइला. So seeing that the double cleansing, Mahaprabhu was very happy. He was satisfied. The temple has been cleansed 2 times. Ara shata jana shata ghate jal bhari prathameila naache kala apeksha kori. So when the temple was being cleansed for the second time, hundreds of devotees had filled hundreds of pots from the Indradyumna Sarovar, which is around 1 kilometer from Gundicha, and they were waiting outside for the Lord to order them to start pouring the water. Because even after the minute grains are cleansed, without water one cannot make the temple cool. The cleansing is not complete.